form of a verb. You need to answer, give an example sentence using the V form of a verb. Then 3, how does the V form of a verb differ from the ED form? Then hello guys, welcome to the DMS online school. In today's lesson, we are going to look at English lesson 2 under the theme called structure. So this lesson is going to be presented by your teacher Masumba Davis. Under structure, we started looking at understanding the 8 parts of speech. In our previous lesson, we did the first part, and in our lesson today, we are going to look at the second part. In today's lesson, we are going to look at part 2, where we'll be looking at the verbs. Watch this video up to the end so that you understand what I'm going to teach in this lesson about verbs. So first of all, we are going to look at what verbs are, or what a verb is. So a verb is a word that expresses action or doing word. So a verb is a word that expresses action, or it is also called doing word, a doing word. So in our day-to-day use of English language, there are words that we use that express taking an action. For example, if you tell a child to say close the door, so you are telling the child to carry out an action that involves shutting the door. All right, so that's why we call verbs are doing word. They're actually like commanding words in our day-to-day use of English language, or any other language has got verbs in them that command doing an action. All right, if you say open the door, jump, can you begin walking, run, kick the ball, sing, all those words are commanding someone to carry out a certain action, and those words are called verbs. All right, so a verb is a word that expresses action or doing word. All right, so they can also indicate a state of being or occurrence. So verbs can also indicate a state of being. They can show how something is, all right, or how something how something is, or occurrence, like when did it happen, okay, when is it going to happen, or how did it happen. So they can also indicate a state of being or occurrence. Okay, you are going to see. So let's look at examples first of all. So we are looking at verbs as action. So for instance, the word like run, jump, sing, etc. These are action verbs. So you are telling someone run, jump, sing. So you want someone to run, meaning they should start moving faster using their legs. Jump, meaning they should use their legs to go up and then come down. Sing, meaning they should start producing a nice melody voice, all right? Sound, all right, or music. So these are action, examples of action. Then to state of being. So state of being as a verb, like is, was, were, etc. All right, so you are going to see how each one of these are used. Then lastly, occurrence. Occurrence, right? So occurrence also is another form in which verb expresses situations or indicate situation, like let's say happen, occur, take place. All right, so let's look at more examples. For instance, we are looking at examples of use of action verbs in sentences, like we say she runs in the park every morning. So this is how we use action. She runs in the park every morning, meaning that this person moves faster in a park, all right, every morning, all right. Then next, the cat jumped onto the table, meaning the cat actually had to jump. It had to move up and then come down on the table. So it is telling us the action that the cat did. What did the cat do? Jumped, meaning it went up on the table, onto the table. Yeah. Then they sing beautifully in the choir. They sing beautifully in the choir, meaning they produce sounds in a choir. They produce sound. So the action that they do is producing sound that is so good to the people to listen to. All right. So they sing beautifully in the choir. Okay. So yeah, he paints amazing landscapes. He paints amazing landscapes. So painting is an action that is done. So someone does the action, which is painting. Okay. So he paints amazing landscapes, meaning they get paint, then apply it, and then they come up with pictures that like landscapes. All right. Then examples of use of state of being verbs in sentences. So those verbs which indicate the state of being, we look at them, how they are used in sentences. So like we are saying, the sky is blue on a clear day. So the verb here is. It is telling us the state, all right, of being, of what? Of the sky, the state of being of the sky. So it's saying the sky is blue. The sky is blue. So that is the state of being of the sky. The sky blue. You can't say the sky blue. That is wrong. Okay. The sky is blue. That is now indicating the state of being of the sky. How the sky is. The sky is blue. Okay. On a clear day. Then I was tired after a long day at work. I was tired after a long day at work. So was is indicating the state of how someone is after a long day at work. So I was tired after a long day at work. So you can't say I tired after a long day at work. That is not going to make sense. So when you include the was, meaning now you are making more meaning. It is telling you now the state of being of the subject. I was tired after a long day at work. Okay. Then also they were excited about the upcoming trip. They were excited about the upcoming trip. So the word were is a state of being verb. Okay. It is indicating the state in which they were in regard to the upcoming trip. So they were excited. You cannot say they excited about the upcoming trip. That would be wrong use of or wrong construction of the sentence. So you have to include the word were to indicate the state of how something is. They were excited about the upcoming trip. Okay. Then she has been a teacher for many years. She has been a teacher for many years. So also it is indicating the state on which this subject has been in. So she has been a teacher. You cannot say she a teacher for many years. That would be a wrong sentence. She has been, meaning this person has been in this teaching for years. You see, I cannot even construct a sentence without including has been when I'm explaining about this. So it's very, very important that these words are known and used as they're supposed to be used. Then we'll look at examples of use of occurrence verbs in sentences, like the meeting will take place at 3 p.m. The meeting will take place at 3 p.m. So it is indicating when the event is going to happen. Okay. So the event will happen at 3 p.m., especially that it is going to happen like in the future. So you cannot say the meeting will at 3 p.m. It is not going to make sense. But if you say the meeting will take place, meaning will occur at 3 p.m., so it is showing the occurrence. So these two take place. It is a combination of occurrence verbs. So also you say like the accident happened on the highway. The accident happened on the highway. So also the occurrence it is showing happened is showing the occurrence of the accident on the highway. So you cannot say the accident on the highway. If you say the accident happened on the highway, it means that's where it occurred from. Okay. If you say the accident is on the highway, now that is the state of being. Now, if you say the accident happened, meaning that is where it occurred. Okay. The accident happened on the highway. Then you say the solar eclipse occurred last night. The solar eclipse occurred last night, meaning the occurrence of the solar eclipse was last night. Okay, it had to happen. So this occurred is a verb that um, expresses the occurrence. All right. Then we say the concert is scheduled to happen next week. The concert is scheduled to happen next week. So this also indicates when an event is going to happen. So it is an example of use of occurrence verbs in a sentence. Scheduled to happen. When is it going to occur? The concert is scheduled to happen next week. You cannot say the concert next week. No. The concert is scheduled to happen next week. Okay. So remember, action verbs show us actions. Then state of being verbs tell us about existence or conditions, and occurrence verbs indicate events that happen. Okay, so by using different types of verbs, we can create sentences that describe various situations and events. So it's very important that we learn these so that we are able to construct correct sentences in our day-to-day use of English language. Okay, so let's look at now the verbs forms. Look at the verb forms and their different uses. So be looking at now the verb forms. So we have looked at the verb as what it is. We have looked at it as a word that expresses action. We have looked at it as the word that indicates the state of being or occurrence. Then we are now looking at verb forms and their different uses, like verb types and their different uses, or rather the forms in which verbs can be put and how these forms are used. All right, so we are going to look at the first one we call the V form, which is called the infinitive or simple form. Okay, so the first form of the verb is called the V form or infinitive or simple form. So this is the basic form of a verb, and it's like the root of the word. So it is the basic form of a verb. Like the verb, the way we write it without doing anything. If we say cook, that word is a verb, cook. So it is a basic form of the verb, that word cook. Okay, it's like the root of the verb, meaning it's the word that you start with. It's the main verb, it's the main word. Okay, so the V form, which are called infinitive or simple verb, this is the basic form of a verb. It's like the root of the word. So you will understand as we are going to progress on this. So we are saying it doesn't tell us when the action happened. The verb is a word that expresses action, right? Now when we are talking of a V form verb, the V form verb will express an action, right? But it is not going to tell us when the action happened. No, it doesn't. That's what the V form verb does, or the basic form of the verb. It will just tell us that an action has to be done, but it will not tell us when the action happened. Or it can tell us the action was done, but it can't tell us when it was done, actually. Or a V form verb just tell us an action. Okay, so here are some examples, like eat. How we use it, we can say I like to eat my favorite meal. So in I like to eat my favorite meal, you have not mentioned when do you do it. So you like to eat. It is a verb, a doing word. And the word eat as it is a basic form of a verb, and it is called a verb, meaning it shows the verb as it is without adding anything to it. All right, so I like to eat, my favorite meal. Another example is swim, like they want to swim in the river. They want to swim in the river. You are not adding anything to the word swim. The word swim, the way it is, you are using it as it is. Okay. Then play, play. So this is the V form of the verb. So you say, he loves to play soccer with his friends. He loves to play soccer with his friends. So it is as it is. Okay. Then another one is jump. Okay. Like she can jump really high. She can jump really high. Okay. So another one is cook. Like mom knows how to cook delicious food. Mom knows how to cook delicious food. So these are the V form verbs as they are, and we are using them in the sentence as they are. So meaning that we are utilizing the V form verb without and we are showing it how, and we are showing how the V form verb is used and how it doesn't tell us when the action happened. Okay. So next, let's look at the second form, which is the ed form, which is also called the past simple. The past simple. So here, this form helps us talk about actions that already happened in the past. So whenever we are looking at the ed form verb, these ed form verbs, they help us to talk about actions that already happened in the past. So they are the verbs that we use when actions have already happened. Um, have already happened. Okay, so you are going to see as we are going to progress here, like we add ed to the verb. So to come up with the ed form verb, we add ed to the verb. So you are going to see. So when we add ed to the verb, then we are able to use that verb to talk about actions that already happened in the past. So here are some examples. Some like played. So to the word play, we have added the ed. It has become the ed form type of a verb. All right. So it presents the past simple. So for instance, we say they played football every 2 weeks, meaning that is the event that has been happening in the past. So they played football every 2 weeks. So meaning we use the word, when we use the word played, meaning the playing of the football every 2 weeks happened in the past. They played football every 2 weeks. So in the past, that's what they did. They were playing football every 2 weeks. Yeah. So like also cooked. All right. So the root word or the V form is cook. Now it has become the ed form, this cooked, because we have added ed to express the event that happens or an action that happened in the past or that already happened. So for instance, we are saying she cooked food nicely for the family, meaning the cooking of food was done in the past. That's why have added the ed there. She cooked food nicely for the family. So this happened in the past. So these are what we call the ed form verbs. Then another one, we look at the third form of a verb. So the third one here is called the en form. The en form, past participle. We call it the past participle. So we are saying when we use this form, we are also talking about the past. Also the past participle because of the word past. Okay. So when we use this form, we are also talking about the past. Okay, but it's used in different ways, especially for irregular verbs. So this one works especially for irregular verbs that I'm going to show you in this lesson as we progress. Okay, so here are some examples. So like beaten. So we have the word beat, but to the word beat we add en. Okay, so the boy was badly beaten in the game. Okay, the boy was badly beaten in the game. So meaning this verb, which is the en form, is there to express the event that has happened in the past, and then we are using it for the verb which we call an irregular verb. Okay, so like beat is an irregular verb because it does not follow the addition of ed to express an action that has already happened. So this also has happened in the past, and then since it is for an irregular verb, we cannot call it the past simple, we call it past participle, especially for what we call irregular verbs that do not follow the pattern of adding ed. These they add en to the word beat, which is the v form or the root form. We add en to represent or to express an event that has happened in the past. So the boy was badly beaten in the game, meaning this beating happened in the past. Okay, like also given. So the word give, we have added the en to become given. So then here we say she was given a 20 kwacha note by her aunt. She was given. So the giving of the 20 kwacha was done in the past. So she was given a 20 kwacha note by her aunt. So we cannot say she was given a 20 kwacha note by her aunt. This will be wrong, even when we know that we are trying to express an event that has already happened. That would be wrong because the word give is an irregular verb. It does not allow us to add ed to it to express it in the past. So we add en. So this is an example of an en form of a verb. So also like eaten, all right? So to the word eat, we have added en so that we can use it to express an event that has happened in the past. Like we say, we have already eaten maize for dinner. We have already eaten maize for dinner, meaning the eating has already been done. It is now in the past. You cannot say we have already eaten the maize for dinner. That is going to be wrong. We have to use en to add it to the word eat so that it becomes past tense. So we have already eaten maize for dinner. So the fourth one is the ing form. So this is another form in which a verb is presented. Okay, the ing form of the verb. So this one is also the present continuous. Okay, so this one is the present continuous. This form shows us actions that are happening right now in this moment. So the present continuous, when we get a verb, then to the verb we add ing, then it becomes the ing form, which indicates present continuous. Okay, so this form shows us actions that are happening right now in this very moment. Yeah, so we add ing to the verb to come up with the ing form, which is there to show us actions that are happening right now or in this moment. So look at these examples here, like beating. So to the word beat, we have added the ing so that we show an action that is happening right now. For instance, we are saying he is beating the drum well at the festival. Okay, he is beating the drum well at the festival, meaning this person, as this statement is being um, spoken, meaning the event is happening right there. Okay, so he is beating the drum well at the festival, like you are telling your friend, right? You are standing side by side with your friend, and then you are watching an event happening. Then you tell your friend at the very moment someone is beating the drum, and your friend, then you say, he is, you point at that, at the actual person maybe, then you say, he is beating the drum well at the festival. Okay, meaning when you are reporting to your friend, the action also is happening at that very moment. So that's when you say that, okay, he is singing very well today. Okay, so meaning as you are telling your friend, the singing is also happening at the moment you are reporting to your friend. Okay, so beating, he is beating the drum well at the festival. Okay, then reading. To the word read, we add ing to come up with the ing form of a verb. Then we are like, he is reading an interesting novel in the library. He is reading an interesting novel in the library. So, like a situation in which this one can be expressed to be is like, maybe someone asks, where is John? John. Oh, John is reading an interesting novel in the library. Meaning, as you are reporting to your friend like that, meaning at that very moment, John should be in the library and should be reading the same interesting novel. That's why these ing ing verb form, they indicate a present continuous uh, tense. They are used to present an event that is happening in the very moment. Okay, so we go to the number 5, the S form, which is the present simple. So this one we call it the present simple. So here we are saying this form helps us talk about things that are true, habits, or regular actions. Yeah. So whenever we have the S form type of a verb, we use the S form when we talk about things that are true, habits, or regular actions. So when actions happen regularly, then when we are talking about them, we add the S to the verb. Okay. Or if things happen truly, the events that happen as true events, then we also add an S when reporting. Or to habits, we also add an S. So it's like stating facts. So when you're stating facts, and you're using verbs, to the verbs you add S. All right. Like check out these examples. So we are saying like a goes. So here the verb is go. Now we add the S there. Okay. In fact, this one is the irregular one. So there's S there. So like she goes to church every Sunday. So this is a regular action. You cannot say she go to church every Sunday. That would be wrong. So we add the S. So she goes to church every Sunday. Then reports. Okay. To the word report, we add S. So we say he reports late for work sometimes. Okay. You cannot say he report late for work sometimes. He report late for work sometimes. No. Like it is like a regular action or a statement which is true. So you cannot say he report late for work sometimes. No, you need to add he reports, so that this one becomes like a statement which is true, an action which is true. He reports late for work sometimes. So you are trying to present a statement which is true to someone about someone reporting late sometimes to for work, then you need to add is to that word. He reports late for work sometimes. Okay. Then to the word get, you add s. Then it becomes Martha gets 5,000 kwacha per month for her job. Martha gets 5,000 kwacha per month for her job. Like, yeah, that is a fact. Okay. You are stating a fact, something which is true. Martha gets 5,000 kwacha per month for her job, meaning it is an irregular action per month every month. Okay. You cannot say Martha get 5,000 kwacha per month for her job. No, it will not make sense. When you add s, it will now mean that this is something which happens regularly. Okay. Martha gets 5,000 kwacha per month for her job. Okay. So here I'm saying, remember, verbs can change their forms to tell us more about the actions. Yeah. So we have seen that the verbs are changing. They are changing their form, where we have the verb, the root, then we have either the V form, then we can have the ED form, the EN form, the ING form, the S form, so that they do what? They tell us more about the action. So by knowing these forms, if you know these forms we have talked about, you can express yourself better and make your sentences more interesting. So keep practicing and you will become a verb expert in no time. All right. So here is an example that can help you to understand more about these verb forms. Like we can have what we call the base form, the main verb here. Now we can have the V form. These are the types of verbs now, the forms of verbs. The V form that we have looked at, the ed here, I forgot to add e here, guys. So let me just change. Okay, so I've changed. It is now in the ed form. So we have also looked at the S form and also looked at the en form. Then also we have looked at the ing form. So for instance, we can have the base form, the verb the way it is. So the verb like talk, this is the verb. The verb talk and the V form, they are the same. It will be like talk the same. But if we add ed to form the ed form, this talk become like we add ed to it, it becomes talked. So meaning we are talking about the event in the past. Okay, then if we to this root, if we add s like talks, meaning like it becomes like a habit, okay, or a regular action, or it becomes something true. Okay, then if we add like something like talked here in fact we cannot add the en here to the word talk. This one remain talked. So we don't add like token. It will not work like that. Okay. So this one under the en, it should just be like talked. It doesn't add the en here. Then ing, if we get to the base form, we add ing, it will be like talking. Okay. So now this one will be now indicating the event or the action that is happening right now. So like another one like walk. So walk and the V form is the same. It will be like walk just like that. But to the walk, if we add the ed, it becomes walked. Okay. Meaning it happened, the walking happened in the past. Like he walked every day when he went for work. Meaning when going for work in the past, the person used to walk. Okay. Then works, it becomes like now what? Like an action, a regular action or habit. He walks every day when going for work, meaning he does not use a vehicle. It is an action that happens every day regularly. Okay, then you add to the en this walk, doesn't carry that, it just becomes walked. And then we can add walking. Okay, so you are saying he is walking as he is going to work. Okay, he is walking to uh, for 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 something. Okay, like an event that is happening right now. So like play is the same as the V form, like play. But if we add ed to play, it becomes played. Then if we add s, it becomes plays. Then here it will just be played. Okay. Then here it will be playing. Then if we have like jump here, it will be just jump like that. But if we add e, it will be like jumped. Here it will be jumps. Then here it will be jumped. Then here it is going to be jumping. Then sing, it will be like sing, the same. Then here sang, it changes here. So here, this is the trick part. So these are what we call irregular verb. These we have looked at their regular verb. They follow the same pattern. Now this one doesn't. Sing, the V form is sing, but the id form is sang. You cannot say singed. That is going to be wrong. It will not be singed. All right. Then here it will be sings. You add s to the root word sings. Then here it changes to sang, where you add en. So this one has two forms. The irregular have got two forms. Sang, meaning you have added ed. Then you can add sung to make it be past participle. This is past simple. Now this one becomes past participle, meaning it is the singing that used to happen. Like it is also an habit in the past. Yeah. This one, it is just showing something that happens in the past. But when you say sang, so you say she sang very well when she was in that choir, meaning when that person was in that choir, the singing used to happen very regularly, often. So you use this sung. But this one you say, she sang very well last night at the church in the choir, meaning this just happened last time once in the past. So it would be like past simple tense. Now, past participle, it is going to be like past, but at the same time, it is like a habit. Yeah, that's what I can say here. Then here you can put singing. To the word sing, you add ing. Then here be is also a verb, like the base form is be. It is similar to the be form, like to the be form. Yeah, to the be form, it is supposed to be am. Yeah, so be is the base form. So to the be form, it should be am, is, are. Then to the ed form, am, is, are becomes was or were. Like if it's singular, you say was. Okay. If like the word be can become am for singular, or and also is for singular. Then are should be for plural. Okay. Then in the past, like am, is, they become like was. Are, they become like were. Then this one will take the same form, is, are, like the s form, to indicate be as a habit. Instead of adding s, it becomes be becomes is, and it can also become are. Then to the en, it becomes been. Okay, so it becomes like past participle, been. He has been good. He has been a good player in that team. So he has been a good player in that team, meaning that it is how he has been in the past as a habit or a regular or a fact. Yeah. So He is a good player. They are a good team. So meaning for plural. Then here, he was a good player. He was a good player. So that one happened in the past. He was a good player. They were a good team. He was a good player. Yeah. Then here, being. So now, here in ing now, where like we are showing the present continuous tense, like showing the event happening, the action happening right now. He is being naughty. He is being naughty, meaning at the very moment he is showing an action of being naughty. He is being naughty. They are being naughty. Okay. So like have also can be a base form which can take as have, but we don't add ed, it becomes had, like in the past simple. Like in the S form, it becomes has. Okay. He has a pen in his hand. That is a fact. Okay. Then here it becomes had. Okay. So the here ed and the en, they carry the same form for the word have. Then here it is having. He is having a pencil in his hand. He is having a pencil in his hand. Okay. So it becomes a present continuous tense, something happening right now. Okay. Then we continue. Go. Go is the same as go. Then if we add ed, we cannot add ed. This one just become went. Okay. So go to went. So like he went to school. He went to school for the past tense, like yesterday he went to school. John went to school yesterday. Okay. So for the past. But the actual verb is go. Now if we are talking of it in a ed form, it becomes like that. Let me even change here. Okay. So ed. Then the S form now, it becomes goes. Okay, it is a habit. He goes to Kasama Day Secondary School. So it's like something that happens regularly, or it's a fact. He goes to Kasama Secondary School. Then here en form, meaning gone. So it is now like a past tense here, past participle. He had gone to the beach last summer. So meaning it's something that happened in the past. Okay. Then if we add ing, it becomes going. He is going to school. All right. He is going, meaning that person actually is going at that moment. Then the word like do, it's the same here, do, but here it changes to did. So if in the past do becomes a did past simple, then S form it becomes does, then in the en form it becomes done. Here we add just en, but here it becomes a different one. Okay, in this form, then here it becomes doing. Done becomes doing. Then another one like eat, it's the same here, like eat. Here it becomes like ate. Okay, ate. Like here, then it remains eats. He eat. Here he ate beef last night. He ate beef. Then he eats sugarcane every morning. He eats sugarcane every morning, meaning it's a habit this person does. That's when we use that eats, like he eats sugarcane. Now, if you just put it, he eats sugarcane, it will not make sense much. But if you say he eats sugarcane every morning, then you use wisely this word, because like when we add the S form is for something true, and also for something that happens regularly, or for something that has become a habit, an action that has become a habit. Yeah. So S is for actions that are true, actions that have become a habit, or actions that happen regularly, or you use it when you are stating a fact. So then, like the en for it becomes eaten. So here it agrees, you add to the word eat en to become eaten. So it becomes the past participle. Then here, eating, like that, you add ing. Okay. So irregular verbs differ from regular verbs in their conjugation patterns. Yeah, like these, like it is an irregular verb. So it differs from regular ones. So in their conjugation, meaning in their pattern of expression, how they are expressed in different forms. Like while regular verbs follow a predictable pattern of adding ed to form the past tense and past participle forms, irregular verbs have unique and often unpredictable forms for these past tense and past participle form. Yeah. So guys, this is the end of our lesson. I hope you have enjoyed, but there's a work to be done. Please, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, consider clicking on the right subscribe button below and turn on the notification so that whenever I post a new video, you will be able to be notified. And online lessons for GCE and grade 12 for English have started, and for anyone that wants to improve in their English so that they know more about English in terms of the rules, the sentencing, composition, and other things, they can join. It's only 60 kwacha. So guys, you who are already in the class, this is the task for you. English task 2. So question 1 says, what is the V form of a verb? You need to answer, give an example sentence using the V form of a verb. Then 3, how does the V form of a verb differ from the ed form? Then 4, when do we use the ed form of a verb? Then 5, provide an example sentence using the ed form of a verb. Then 6, how does the ed form change a verb's meaning in a sentence? Then 7, what is the en form used for? Then 8, give an example sentence using the en form of an irregular verb. Then 9, how is the en form of an irregular verb different from the from regular verbs? Then 10, when do we use the ing form of a verb? Then 11, create a sentence using the ing form to describe a current action. Then 12, what do we add to a verb to form the ing form? Then 13, what does the S form of a verb help us express? Then 14, write a sentence using the S form of a verb to express a habit. Then 15, how is the S form different from the ed form? Then 16, rewrite these sentences in the V form. They are reading an interesting book. Then 17, change this sentence to an ed, to the ed form. She is painting a beautiful picture. So these are the sentences you are going to change. Then 18, make a sentence using the en form to talk about an action in the past. Then 19, how does knowing different verb forms help you express yourself better? Then 20, explain the difference between the ing form and the s form in terms of when they are used. So you submit the work for checking so that you will be given the response. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, see you in the next lesson, and please, peace.